Hey, what is up, guys? It's Cam here. Today we're going to be doing another movie review, and this one is going to be on the movie Jurassic World Rebirth. And I'm going to be going into the pros and cons of this movie. And yeah, without further ado, let's get in the video. So first off, with this movie, like completely opposite of the last review I did, which was 28 years later, this movie I had very low expectations for just because I saw the last few Jurassic World movies that were not very good. Dominion and Fallen Kingdom were not good at all. And this movie, I was coming in with very low expectations. I was thinking, why can't they just kill the franchise off? Why can't they just stop making these types of movies? But I actually was very pleasantly surprised by this movie. And I know I've seen that this movie has gotten a lot of negative reviews and then a lot of positive reviews. I'm on the positive review side. This movie was like the closest to Jurassic Park I've seen so far. Even more so than Jurassic World, the first one. And I really enjoyed that movie too. But this movie was phenomenal. I loved it. There are a few cons. I mean, every movie has their cons. So I'm going to start out with the pros. My biggest pro for this movie is that mutant T-Rex. That thing was super cool. I really loved how they kind of took a twist on that. And usually you've never seen that in a Jurassic Park movie. That's the first time you see this type of thing. And it brought horror to the franchise more than I think it's ever done before. Maybe first Jurassic Park was a little scary too, but this was like a real, truly a scary looking thing. Scary looking creature. It looked like something from outer space. Yeah, it looked like a xenomorph turned into a dinosaur. It looked pretty weird. And it brought scares to the movie and overall. And I really liked that. I liked how they input more horror into this movie. I also really liked the action of this movie, the intense scenes. There were so many cool, intense scenes of this movie that I just thought they had me hooked onto the screen the whole time. And I've seen a lot of people say that this movie was like very boring and made you fall asleep. Not for me. This movie had me hooked the whole time. I was really liking the movie. I also just really loved how this brought like kind of like Jurassic Park vibes. Like the very first Jurassic Park movie, it brought those kinds of vibes. And it steered away from all the Jurassic World, the last two Jurassic World movies. And I love that. They kind of created their own era. Like I like that. And I knew they were going to do that from the start, but I didn't know it'd succeed as it did for me. Yeah, I just really liked how they made the Jurassic Park vibes pop out again. And I haven't seen that in so long. That's Jurassic Park. The first Jurassic Park is the only one that kind of had those kinds of vibes. And it brought me back to those kinds of vibes again. I really did enjoy that. And what I hated about the last two was the way they made the story. And I hated Fallen Kingdom because of the whole mansion, dinosaurs and a big old mansion thing. That was so dumb to me. Dominion had the locusts. I can't really remember a single thing about that movie, hardly. This one was the complete opposite. I loved it. It was very, very good. Now I'm going to go into the cons of this movie. I'm going to go with the first con, which is the very start of this movie and how this whole thing, the whole rest of the movie starts. What starts the whole conflict of this movie is super dumb. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is a very dumb thing. I felt like they could have done a lot better with explaining how the very beginning goes into chaos. It was just kind of a dumb way of introducing this to the audience. And that's what I started out with. I was like, oh, this is going to go bad. But like I said, the rest of the movie was very, very good. It had a lot of action-packed scenes. My second con would probably be how predictable it kind of was. From the start, I knew who the villain would be in the end. I knew from the get-go, right as the movie starts after that first introduction scene, I knew who was going to be the villain because it's kind of like the same thing that happens in all the other Jurassic Park movies. It's always, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it happens like this in every other movie that's been in Jurassic Park, especially the original Jurassic Park trilogy. But I also like how they proceeded with the villain and just went with it. I liked it turned out good at the end. I'll say that. I also really liked the performances in this movie. Yes, there were a few cheesy lines in the movie, but I mean, that is a Jurassic Park movie. They're all like that. And either way, it was still a good movie. I don't know why people focus so much nowadays on the lines and such. Like they focus down heavily on every little aspect of the movie, and they want to try to make it most realistic. But a movie yeah, it could be realistic, but it also is just meant to have fun. You're supposed to have fun and watch a movie. It just sometimes you just want to watch a movie with the most unrealistic thing ever. I mean, heck, dinosaurs are in this movie and they're coming back to life. Yeah, they might explain it a little scientifically, but do you really think that's ever gonna happen? That's not realistic. But it's just a movie. Why do people? I don't understand why people take things so seriously and want to be most realistic thing ever nowadays. Yes, realism is very good to have in a movie, but with a Jurassic Park movie, who cares? It's just a fun movie to watch dinosaurs fighting. And I honestly will say the story was still very good in this movie. I really did enjoy the characters. Now, another con I will go into for that, though, is the actual backstory of the characters. They explain a tiny little bit of details on Scarlett Johansson's character, and I forgot the other guy's name. The military guy that's in charge of the boat. They have a conversation in the beginning of the movie that they kind of explain what happens in their background, but they don't like go any farther than that. I felt like they could have done an explanation or like a flashback or something in the beginning of the movie, but they didn't. And I feel like if they're not going to do that, maybe they shouldn't include those backstory, those little itty bitty backstory tidbits. I didn't like that part, but like I said, this movie was still really good. It was very unexpected I'd like this movie, and I'm really excited I do because I love Jurassic Park. I love the first Jurassic World, and now this is probably my third favorite of this whole franchise. The whole Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, this is probably my third favorite movie of those movies. Yeah, it was just a very good breath of fresh air for the Jurassic Park series. If I were to give this movie a rating out of 10, it'd probably be like a 7 out of 10. Like I said, it had some stupid stuff in it, but it still was a very fun and entertaining movie to watch. And I will say, I forgot to mention that when this movie was done in the theater that I went to, everyone stood up and clapped. I mean, for a movie that has a 53 rating on Rotten Tomatoes, that's good. I don't know how critics have given it that bad of a rating, but I can tell the audience is really enjoying it right now, and that does show on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's like a 73 from the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, which is way better than what the critics have given. But anyways, yeah, like I said, I really did enjoy this movie. It was a good breath of fresh air, especially from after seeing 28 Years Later, which was a big disappointment to me. But anyways, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have seen this movie already, share your comments down below of your thoughts. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.